Welcome to another episode of It's All Love Podcast. We got a good podcast going on for y'all tonight, man. I'm not gonna waste no time. You know, I'm the host that smoked the most. I'm butter. You know what I'm talking about. But we got the man, the myth, T-Mo.
Hey, what's going on with y'all, man? It's Timo. Y'all can follow me at off the top underscore media. I'm gonna keep giving y'all that content. Keep giving y'all shit to think about, and y'all already know how we coming tonight, man. And I got my man to my left.
Noble Noah.
What's going on, everybody? It's Nova Noah. You can follow me on IG at Noble_Noah_. We got a very, very lit Saturday show for y'all. We got some amazing guests joining us tonight. Our guest tonight is Barb from the Let Me Touch You podcast, Haydee from the Ladies Pitch podcast, and Tika B Love from the Brunch Eye podcast. If you ladies can individually tell our viewers, where they can find your podcast at, when your next episode at, tell them all your stuff before we start the show off.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm Tinika B Love. Um, you can find me on all social media platforms at Tinika B Love Tinika Blove. I am the author of the cookbook Cooking with Love, Lost the Battle, Won the War. I am 1/3 of the Brunch Hour podcast. I also do weekly lives. I'm a life coach as well. Who's going next?
Either Haydee or
Yeah, either or.
All right. Go next. I'm Barbie from LetMeTouchYou podcast. You can find me on IG. That's let_me_touch_you. My podcast drops every Saturday at 12 a.m. And you can also find me Friday Night Live. Now also, not only me, I'm joined by Haydee, Brian, and Sal. And we're there every Friday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And I am Haydee, also known as Haydee Baby, 1/3 of the Ladies Pitch podcast. We are currently on our fourth season. We drop new episodes every Monday. Shout out to my co-host, Direct Daddy, and Let's Be the Savage.
All right. Now that we got the introductions and everybody is familiar with our guests that we have on, like I said, before we start every show, for my own personal connection with the guests, I always like to get the guests' zodiac sign before we start off. So if you ladies can, tell our audience what's your zodiac sign.
I'm a Taurus.
Okay, Taurus. I like love. Okay.
I'm a Pisces.
Okay.
Pisces.
Okay.
Keep the negative comments
Okay.
to yourself. Okay.
No. I ain't hear nothing. I didn't hear anything that I have an issue with.
Hey, I knew
I fuck with all.
But go.
What'd you
Hey,
say?
Timo, I hate to go back. Timo, what type of wine you drinking, Timo?
Oh, no, you good. You good. I'm sipping on some Chandon.
Oh, okay. Okay, Timo.
Fancy.
Timo. Yeah, fancy today. Okay.
No, it's just some chill.
Good.
Well, go ahead, Bob. Tell him what's your sign.
She already said it. Then
I'm a
she said
Virgo.
Virgo. You Virgo, right?
Hey,
Yeah,
Bob.
but I'll repeat it. It's okay. I am a
Say it
Virgo.
again. A Virgo. All right.
Virgo.
All right. Okay. Since Butter brought up, Timo drinking a wine. I know. Haydee and Bob big, on the shots for shots on their show. Are y'all drinking tonight? Y'all relaxing? What's going on?
Oh, we're drinking.
Definitely.
I currently have Henny and ginger ale in my cup.
Okay, that's gangster.
And I'm
That's
taking a
gangster.
break from the Henny tonight. I'm actually drinking tequila and lemonade.
Okay.
That sound like a good mix.
Okay.
That.
I'm not drinking. I have a diet Dr. Pepper.
Okay, let's go. Hey, whatever it takes.
Yeah, whatever get y'all comfortable. Like I said, but Butter got his remedies, T-Moore got his wine. Everybody got their own little things. So whatever get y'all
You already
comfortable,
know.
but to have a good show, hey, let's go ahead and do that. But to not hold this off any longer, Butter T-Moore, not to hold this off any longer. Let's get into these topics because we got some good topics tonight. The first topic that we want to discuss, and like I said, I know our viewers, I know the guests, Timo Butter. If y'all been online anytime this week, all you seen is a whole bunch of red flags across your timeline. Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. And so it seems like this is the week that everybody wants to point out what
red flags are.
What they think a red flag is, and all of that. So that's really gonna be the first topic that we're gonna dive into tonight. We're gonna discuss this red flag thing. Where did it come from, and why all of a sudden now we want to sit here and address it. So the first question that I have for our guests, is, do you ladies have any serious red flags that if you see this immediately, it's warning signs going off in your head, and you like, oh nah, it's already not starting right?
For me, it will be a man that's constantly complaining about his financial situation.
Financial
That's a red
situation.
flag.
Any other barbs?
Especially if I just started dating, I feel that's something that if you're complaining about it, you're probably trying to see if I'm the type of female that will like help you and give you money, things like that. So that's kind of a red flag. Like, I just met you. Why are you complaining about all these things already?
For me, I would have to say, for me, a major red flag is a man with too many baby mamas, too many kids, too many different baby mamas. That to me is like, no. I try to steer clear from those type of men. That's definitely top 3 red flags for me.
Say it again, Haydee.
No, that's definitely like top 3 like red flags for me.
What about you, Tika?
For me, someone who wants to dominate my time. Like, if I'm telling you the things that I'm doing, and all you're trying to do is stop me from doing those things to be up under you. Someone who's just really trying to dominate my time.
So basically, you saying that somebody that you feel like is taking you away from what you got going on, like the stuff that you need to have done. They just want all the focus to be on them. You basically saying somebody just selfish. They just like, it's all about me. You get to you whenever you ready.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the biggest red flag for me.
Well, let's ask T-Moore Butter. T-Moore, what's a red flag?
I was gonna say let Butter go, because I was over here. I already knew I was about to be coming up.
Mine short. I was mine short.
Yes,
I hate them ghetto loud ass. You know what I'm saying? They're too loud. You know what I'm saying? It's all good to be from the hood and all that, but you need to learn how to turn that button off. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's my one right there.
You basically saying time and place, Butter. You basically saying
the time. Yeah. You should be able to change that curve when need be.
That's a good one, but I like that one. What about you, T-Moore?
I mean, I would just say maybe, a woman that doesn't really know herself, or who doesn't love herself. Because if you don't know yourself or you love yourself, by the time you do get to the point, or if you ever get to that point where you finally come to the point where you start really knowing who the hell you is, then then at that point, are you still going to be that same person? If not, is it going to be the good for the worse? There's a lot to explain when it comes to that. Go ahead, Noah. I want to hear what you got to say.
For me, a red flag. For me, a red flag. Like for me, I always pay attention to how much people interact with people. As in, like I said, I'm personally a very reserved person, and so like if I see somebody that I'm interested in, if I feel like they're just a person that just lets people in easy, like they can just interact with everybody and just have a rapport to where there is no caution in letting people in. Like they just keep a lot of extra people around them. To me, I just feel like, you know, that person putting themselves in a position to where it could turn out to be, you know, the extra people around you may not be for you. And so I always pay attention to, you know, the type of dynamics that people have. So like I would guess say, like, to sum that up, like a person that's extra friendly. Like they just
I was gonna ask, they're basically friendly women.
yeah. I mean, yeah, friendly women, but I'm
Say you
saying
saying flirty.
they just
Sound like
always
you sound like a flirty woman.
I
That's
mean,
me.
Well, you wouldn't like me.
I say, do you
You
feel
wouldn't
like
like
do you
me.
feel like friendly means flirty though?
no,
Um,
I don't feel
no,
like,
when they saying too friendly, that's the only thing it could be is flirty.
but no, I just feel not like for me, I don't, because I think like what Tika said, I don't necessarily think that friendly equals flirty. I just think sometimes people just have a naturally bubbly personality that draws people
Yeah.
in. And so, like I said, when sometimes people have a personality
Yeah,
like that, they just interact. It just happens like that. I don't think they're intentionally going out there flirting with people. They just have that personality that draws people in. But like I said, even when a
yeah,
person has a person that draws people in, they have a personality that gravitates to people. I still think it should be a level of caution about who you keep around you. Like you shouldn't just have just everybody around you, or you just all up in everybody's face, just keeping just a whole bunch of random company. And so like for me, just a person that just, like I said, I guess just overly friendly. To me,
Hey, so
that's
you
my
basically
opinion.
you basically saying the chick that goes inside the party and the party get more lit. I'm not saying so she getting that joint.
Yeah. So you couldn't.
No, I
Yeah.
mean,
You
He
wouldn't
likes
like
a more
any
low
female
key.
from
He
New
likes a
York.
more low key type of
Yeah,
woman,
Yeah.
basically.
I
Keeps a
feel
low
you.
profile.
no, I
Ain't
Ain't
mean,
nothing
nothing
I
wrong
wrong with
with
that.
that
I'm
though.
with it. No, ain't nothing
I
wrong
mean,
with that.
I am a low
I feel the same way.
profile person, but like I'm like what Butter say. Like I feel like you got to be able to cut it on and cut it off.
Right.
Like
I
if you
feel
just
that.
always like that
Okay.
Yeah.
all the time, then
Yeah.
it's like, yeah,
There's a
you got
time
to
and a
be able
place for
to,
everything.
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
it's a time and place to mingle and X, Y, and Z. But if everywhere you going, you up in somebody's face or walking up to random people, or you just it just at a certain point, it's just like, are
I
you
get it.
Yeah.
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 yeah,
You want a
so
woman
like,
that knows how to conduct herself.
What if they up in your face?
huh?
What if they always up in your face
I mean,
like me?
I
I
mean,
have a bubbly personality. I'm friendly. I talk to everybody.
yeah.
But I'm also a person that's very standoffish. So most times people have to come up to me and talk to me, but they'll get that bubbly, funny person.
Mhm. But that's why I think it is like, and that's why I say like the dynamic that is built. Like if people are genuinely walking up to you and they starting conversations with you, then yeah, I'm not telling you to be standoffish and don't speak and be like that. But if you yourself is going out there initiating all of these random interactions and this, that, and the other, I'm looking at you like, do you like do you want this much attention on you? Do you want to be the center of attention? Do you want like that's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Like a person that's going out there and making that happen like that. Like they want, to be seen all the time. Like that's more what I'm speaking about.
Noah, what's
Okay.
your sign? You
I'm
guys
a
didn't
cancer.
state your sign.
Oh yeah, I'm a
Butter?
cancer. I'm a
Yeah,
I'm
cancer. T
Aquarius.
was a cancer,
yeah, I'm a
and Butter
cancer
is
too.
Yeah, I'm
Aquarius.
Aquarius.
Aquarius
Was
and
the cancer.
you
Oh,
take
Yeah,
water sign.
I'm a cancer.
Cancer too. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cancers are very
Water
sensitive.
fellow water sign. Very
Oh
sensitive.
yeah.
I hear.
So
Yeah, my
yeah,
son
the
is
in
a
the water.
cancer.
Yeah.
All right. No, that's the the narrative on us.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I'm
You write
very
it down.
sensitive. Y'all wear your emotions on your sleeve.
I
But it kind of makes sense about him, about Noah describing like the type of woman that he's attracted to, or the red flags, because I know a lot of Cancer people, men and women, and they're kind of like the same way. They actually have like a shell, and they pick and choose like really when to come out of their shell and when to go back in, when to stay in. So makes sense what he said.
Yeah, I like, for me, I wouldn't personally have a whole bunch of random people around me. Like, the people that I would have around me is people that I'll be like, yeah, we have a rapport. We have something that I feel comfortable enough to be in that situation. So if you're a person that I'm dealing with and you just got people coming and going in your life, it's gonna throw me off. That's just what it is.
Yeah,
But
kind of shaky.
yeah. So but with that, like I said, now that we all have stated what our red flags are, the next question that I have is any of these red flags immediate cutoff, or are these red flags something that it just makes you alert that you have to pay attention to this? Because with the red flags, I feel like a lot of people are stating the red flags, but a lot of people ain't leaving when they see these red flags. They sticking around and seeing how the situation play out. So are these red flags, are the
Or
red
they've seen
flags that
them.
y'all stated, are these red flags your media said, no, I'm not gonna go no farther in this situation. I don't want no parts in this. Or are these just red flags that y'all just, well, it's alarming, but I'm gonna stick around and see how this goes.
Don't come for me, Noah.
Yeah.
For me,
You go first.
if I do notice like the one that I said about trying to dominate my time, I'll definitely have maybe a conversation with you about it. And if you seem to ignore what I'm saying, then yes, I'm gonna just like walk away because I can't deal with that. I have too much going on for someone to just try to come in and change that dynamic for me.
How you feel about it, Barb?
Okay, with my red flag, with the whole financial thing, I'm the type of person that I'm always trying to save someone. So before I have dealt with people that, would complain about certain things, and I always try to see the potential in someone, and I'm always trying to help someone. And at the end of the day, you see the potential, you're helping them, and you end up fucked. So moving forward, it's a red flag that I'm going to pay attention to, and I'm going to make sure I stop whatever it is right then and there because it's not worth it.
So you basically looking to say, okay, I know what it is, and I am going to try to get them to stop. Now, if they can't stop, you're gonna say, okay, that's it.
Yeah, because it's happened to me more than once, and I've ignored the red flag. I can say twice in my life, trying to help that person and make them better, put them in a situation where they can improve. And in the long run, they just turned out to be using me. So I won't do it again.
Go ahead, Haydee.
Well, my red flag is grounds for immediate cutoff for the simple fact that most of the time I have met men that have multiple kids with different mothers, or even if they have, let's say, 5 kids with different mothers, it always happens that they're either not taking care of one or two of their kids, they're deadbeats, or they have like too much baby mama drama. Baby mama finds out he's seeing someone new, causing drama, to me, or making things more difficult for him. I'm the type of person, I'm just gonna be like, listen, I don't want to deal with that. Not at this point in my life. I'll just step back, immediate grounds for cuddle. That's it. Like I don't want to deal with that. I was younger. I dealt with that. I dealt with a partner who had baby mama drama, and I try to give him the benefit of the doubt. But at this point in my life, like I don't want to keep that type of drama and that type of like nonsense around. So that's immediate grounds for cuddle.
That's good to stand your ground on something that you believe in as a red flag. Timo, what about you, man? What you doing? What you doing?
Yeah, I'm gone for the most part. Like, I ain't gonna really stay. I ain't gonna stay if I see something that I'm not gonna really fuck with. I'm not gonna really mess with in the long run. So I mean, if I see, for example, like if I ain't gonna just get with her, if I am seeing the red flags or see that she's like a gold digger, just for example, and then we getting mad when I, stuck her out and went on and worked with her, and that's what she was. So I mean, I'm gone for the most part.
What about you, Butter? You leaving or staying?
Mine a little confusing. Did we have sex already? Or
hey, hold on, hey, but see, all right, but see, this the thing right here, though. That's what happens, and that's why we asking all these questions like, are we staying or leaving? But a lot of times when we talking about these red flags, people seeing the red flags, but still go ahead and try and pursue it anyway, and just hoping maybe they can work through that shit.
Yeah,
or maybe that shit, or that.
Some of the red flags.
Yeah, and especially, I was about to say, and especially if you already started fucking. If you started fucking too, then
I was gonna say, yeah. That was a legit question. That was a legit question that Butter asked, because it's like, depending if the sex is like mind blowing, you will overlook those red flags because it's so good.
Absolutely.
I ain't worried about the red flags. I can delete some of it. You know what
them red flags look green.
That's why I make them wait 6 months so I can look for those red flags.
Hold on, Barbie, you said 6 months.
Oh my God! Here we go.
Are y'all back with her?
Hey, hold on.
Hey, I was about to say.
I apologize, y'all. I just heard. She said it so low. She didn't want me to hear it. No. I just heard. I said,
no. Of course, that right there is going to be something that you hear. Like, what? Huh?
Yeah. Hey,
damn, 6 months.
She could have whispered that lower she wanted. And all you heard was that 6 months. Oh shit.
He's like, Butter's like, I want to change my red flag real quick. Red flag 6 months or more now.
Yeah.
We gonna dress that. We gonna dress that coming up, Butter. We gonna dress that coming up, Butter. But I just want to finish this one out though. Just off the fact that, like I said, everybody's saying, with the sex it changes the thing. But my whole thing with that is, if it was a red flag, how did they get to the sex? The red flag should have slowed down. The red flag
ain't nothing like toxic sex.
Sometimes it depends on how long you wait to have sex.
That's what I was about to say. How quick did they have sex?
Yeah. If they have sex right in the first day or the first week, you don't get to really see any red flags.
Well, if you gotta wait 6 months, I don't know what type of flags you're saying.
Say it again, buddy.
Yeah, but
I'm messing with Miss Bobby.
But that's why. But see, that's what I'm saying. That's like I said. I think I said we was either on live or no, we was on live this week, and that's why I said that the sex. I mean, even if the sex is good, I mean, we can't really be letting that dictate our decision making.
That
like even when I I told you, I've had women I probably had sex with. Now all of a sudden they text me talking about they want a relationship or they want this, that, and the third. No, you don't. You don't want what's it called? You wasn't saying none of that type of shit. You wasn't saying none of that type of shit before we fucked. All of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? Now,
damn, I've been guilty of that, Timon. That's crazy.
I haven't said that. I'll hit you with the I miss you, how you doing? Or you know what I do? I hit them with I had a dream about you last night. And, reel them back in.
That's a fact.
And get it again.
That's a
fact.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah. Female hits you with that I had a dream about you.
She wasn't dreaming about you.
Yeah.
Nah, it sounded good though.
Yeah, that did sound good.
It make the ear feel good. That's good to the ear.
Yeah, that's about it.
There you go, Tinker. What you mean that to me?
I've definitely done that. I'm not looking for anything right now. And then after the sex is like, so I was thinking that, we make a really good couple. And it's like, no, we don't.
You can't be doing that.
And I'm like the total opposite. And they're like, I still don't understand why you don't want to be in a relationship, because I don't. Like,
I feel like all the emotions.
That's not going to make me or change me.
Better.
Like, I don't care
Yeah.
about how much money you have. I don't care if the sex is, but I love my peace too
So
much.
do you
And I
so do you be
know
doing
I've
go ahead.
spent many a years in suffering to know that I wouldn't put myself in there purposely.
Mhm.
What, in a
Yeah.
relationship?
Yes, I was
Oh,
17 and a half years married to a narcissistic person.
that
So,
that that'll change your whole outlook. When you invest a lot of time in the wrong person, that'll
Y'all
change
know, yeah,
your whole
yeah.
outlook on everything. That'll
They
change your
definitely do.
outlook on
Yeah.
getting on there.
That's
So
a
I can
fact.
see
But
that.
tell,
Yep.
but tell me this: would you, are you, even if they asking you, do they want a relationship? Are you still giving like relationship energy, or you just, to make them probably want a relationship, or you just keeping it as just that?
well,
Me?
I can't help being who I
Oh.
am. Let me see. I can't help being who I am. So, no, I set the right expectations and I'm really honest and transparent and authentic throughout. But sometimes it's just like what I say gets ignored and they have their own agenda.
Mhm.
I mean, I wouldn't say it gets ignored, but then when we just say that, we just fucking, or we doing this, but then we, seeing each other, 2, 3 times out the week, spending the night with each other, spending time, what I'm saying, cuddling up, watching movies, talking, probably talking and communicating on the regular. I mean, but then, what
You
I'm saying,
can't do
somebody after a while,
relationship things.
after a while, somebody over time, somebody's gonna be like, what I'm saying, what's up? You know what I'm saying?
That's
What we
true.
doing?
Because you messed it
You
up.
know what I'm saying? That's
Once
why
you start doing
after a while,
relationship things with
Yeah, it
people,
sounds like a relationship.
Exactly. So if I'm not
Sounds like a
interested
relationship.
in you,
yeah,
honestly, I'm not even gonna waste my time
Yeah.
even having any conversations with you, talking to you, doing any type of dating thing. I'm like, I don't have time. I'm not, I don't even want to make the time. But if I'm interested in you, yeah, I'll do those things. But if I'm not, like right now, I'm in the process of dating and finding that life partner. But I had a pattern of just picking someone, you're my man, and then getting to know them in the process. So they're my man and get everything. Whereas, dating, it's a little bit different. It's proper evaluation to determine whether you're a good fit.
hmm
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, no. I mean, I definitely agree with that, and I think T Moore says similar things to that too, as in the dating process and going on a date. It's not the same for him. Like he's not gonna take every woman. He's not taking every woman on a date. The woman that he takes on a date is the woman that he is actually dating, that he sees something in before he gets to that. So yeah, I do agree with that. It's definitely a process in that. Um, the but I also want to add too, because like I said, we discussed red flags and we discussed what we feel is a red flag. But has it ever been a time for you ladies that you going in and thought it was a red flag? You went in and thought it was a red flag, but you stuck around, like some of y'all say, you stuck around and worked through the situation, and then you was like, this ain't as bad as I thought it was. Like this is something I can work through. It was initially a red flag. Now I'm in the situation, and the red flag it starting to look a little yellow. It started to change a little
Nah.
greenish. The colors changing. So like
Yes.
what has
for you,
it
yes.
has any of y'all ladies been in that
Yeah,
situation
yeah. A
that
bit.
the red flag
It
have
went
changed?
like there was like levels to it. Like it started off as a red flag and then it was like yellow. Then it was kind of greenish, and then it went right back to a red flag. So
Mm,
it was basically like it was a 5 year relationship that I was in. So the red flag was the fact that he was love bombing. So I was kind of in a vulnerable state because I had broken up a few months out of a 8 year relationship. So basically, my next relationship, he was doing like everything that the boyfriend before didn't do. So for me, I was like, oh wow, like shit, like he has it all together, but he was kind of giving so much too soon. So for me, it was like it's a bit much. It was a red flag, but I was like, I had my rose-colored glasses on, and I'm like, all right, so maybe this is not a bad thing. So it kind of turned like into a yellow flag. The beginning, the
mm,
first 2 years. But then that love bombing became like possessiveness, and it became like kind of like semi like an obsession for the last 2 years of the relationship. So it was like, no, this is a red flag. Like this is not healthy. This is not a healthy love.
Yeah.
It was like, no, I got a dash.
So with you being that
Unfortunately, but
with you being in that situation for 5 years, do you feel like if you would have just stuck to it being a red flag from the beginning, you would have left that situation sooner, or you still think that it would have played out how it played out?
if I would have left soon, it would have only gotten worse, to be honest.
Okay.
It was only going to get worse. Yeah, because it was getting a lot more intense. The things that attracted him in the beginning started to bother him towards the end. So it's like, you know, he got with me with the expectation that he can change me. And it doesn't work that way. It's kind of like, this is who I am. And I'm not the type of person to change for anyone. Like this is who I am. You either take it or you leave it. So for him, it was like, oh, I'm going to take it, but I'm going to see if I can change her. And when he noticed that it was not working out in his favor, you know, he became a little bit more possessive, a little bit more controlling. And if I would have not left that situation, it would have escalated, you know, a lot worse. There's something a lot worse. So, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely a red flag.
Yeah. A lot of women be getting out of situations that they feel like the man is being too controlling. But that's why I always say, you know, just come into the situation being your natural self. You know what I'm saying? Then just take it or leave it. Like you said. If you can't really love someone,
but it was kind of like,
for them.
Yeah, it was kind of like in the beginning, like I would say, I thought it was it was a turn on. Oh, he's so he cares about me so much. He loves me so much. Like he's protecting me. You know, he's a protector. And no, like later on, it was like, okay, no, he really wants to control my movements and who I hang out with and what I do and how I talk. Yeah, and it was like, oh no, yeah, this is not a healthy love. Like it's not.
What's the sign?
Virgo.
I'm not like that guy, by the way.
You see Cougar and Cuddy's coming for us.
Yeah, I seen that, Timo. I ain't had time to get into it.
Yeah, I saw that.
I get tired of defending my sign, Timo. I just get tired of it. I got to defend my sign every week. Every week I got to
go right there for y'all.
But
we probably honestly like the least toxic sign for real.
Hey man, they say if you gotta keep saying it ain't believable, Timo. So I'm gonna quit saying it because they saying it ain't believable. We the least toxic. They say the people that say the least toxic is the most toxic.
You guys are very petty. Cancers are extremely petty.
I don't think so. I really don't. I really think so. The only thing I'm gonna say this about Cancer, move on, because I gotta get Barb's and Tika's opinion on that question. But the other thing about cancers is cancers peep a lot of things without saying that we peep a lot of things.
Right.
By the time that we get to the point that we get to, it's so many stuff that we done peeped that we ain't said that it just we at this point now. So that's just what it is. But Barb, have you ever been in that situation that you know that red flag started changing colors on you?
Nah, my spidey senses, like I call them, they're usually on point. So usually that red flag 2 times, I saw it. I tried to be the bigger person and ignore it, seeing the potential, and it was spot on. So moving forward, I'm not gonna ignore any other red flag.
I mean, yeah, that's good. That like I said, you your spidey senses tingle, and you know, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna get too deep in this because I already know how this is gonna turn out. I already see this not gonna
the woman's intuition.
Yes, it be on point. And a lot of times we ignore it because you know we see the potential in someone and we want to look past the minor things. Something that might seem minor right now can develop into something extremely big later on.
Absolutely.
So any little thing, ladies, that you notice, if it's something that you can address with the person that you, but once you do that and you see that your partner's not trying to fix it, then keep it moving.
Yeah, they frozen.
Yeah, they can y'all still hear us, Haydee and Barb?
Yeah, they're freezing. In and
Oh,
out.
okay.
In
Oh,
and
right,
out.
it came back.
I'm like, what happened?
Okay, there you go. Go ahead, Tika, and answer the question as well. Do you feel did that had that ever happened to you before? That red flag started changing colors on you?
No, before we move on, we gonna practice saying my name right.
Okay. Then thank you.
Tanika.
Thank you.
Tanika.
Addressing you. Go ahead.
Yeah,
What?
Tanika, I'm
Say
sorry
say
because
it
I said
for
it
me.
wrong too earlier,
Yes,
Tanika. I
bring that
apologize.
New York attitude.
Go ahead. No. How to
Yeah,
say your
she just
name?
stressed me out. I feel like
It's
she was talking to
pronounced
me too, though.
Tanika.
Tanika. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know why. See, that must have been my hearing. I don't know why I kept because I so it's Tanika.
Tanika. Yes.
Okay. I
Uh-huh.
thank you for telling me because
To
I would have
make
been
it
the whole
easy for
show.
you, you
I
could
would have
just
been the
call
whole
me
show
T.
confidently.
To make it easy for you, you could just call me T if you like.
Okay. T. So, like I said, have the red flag change colors on you.
Well, I spent 17 years in a narcissistic marriage, so yeah, I ignored all red flags.
Mm.
But now, definitely the red flags don't turn yellow. They remain red. Again, I'll try to address it. If the behavior doesn't change, then I'll walk away. What I would say about ignoring red flags is sometimes fear makes a person ignore that because they don't want to be alone. So they're just accepting
Mhm.
what is happening because they're choosing to overlook something that's obvious because they don't want to be alone. And it's just all boiled
Yeah,
down to fear.
that's
Yeah,
a
no,
fact, Tanika. Yeah,
Mhm.
I was
I agree.
guilty of that. Yeah, I can agree.
Right, Kelly, right?
That's a beautiful assessment, and I feel like everybody gets to that point where they've been dating, and the dating pool ain't looking like they supposed to look, and they find that one person that they getting a connection with and growing and bonding with,
They settle.
but this person got some red
Yeah.
flags, but it ain't been too good out there for me. So I'm about to stick around and deal with this and try to make this something out of nothing. And next thing you know, you in a long term situation with somebody that you knew from the jump. This ain't it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I definitely agree
Guilty,
with that.
100%.
Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
thank you.
Timo, what about you, man? What you feeling about that, man? Have you ever let a female slip through the cracks too long? Just slide through the cracks too long?
Um, I mean, yeah, I could say that. I mean, I think so. Yeah, we ain't never get in a relationship, but I, kept trying to pursue something with her longer than when I probably should have. And that was just my fault by dealing with a female that just probably a month or 2 months recently got out of a relationship. So, she was basically, still hurting and had feelings, about that situation.
Hmm.
So, and he just, so I kept on, kept on still trying to, pursue something with her.
Mm.
But, that's really the only time.
Like
I
I said,
haven't been,
I think for me, it would probably, like I said, been my last situation, my last girlfriend, just off of ignoring our lack of compatibility, ignoring that we connect on some things, but there was a lot of stuff that we just didn't connect on. And like I said, I was like, a lot of people feeling like, you can work on this. This is something that you probably can build. But realizing later on that, like I said, some things you just can't recreate. Some things you just can't make work together. And so, like I said, I think that's for me, seeing that, yeah, we got a lot of differences, but trying to work through them differences instead of just saying, yeah, maybe this ain't the direction I need to stay in long term.
yeah. I think people don't be understanding that you're probably gonna come across more people that's not really for you than the people that is for you. So,
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
so I mean, if the shit don't really work, then just let it go. That's what dating is.
It's like
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
said,
but
If
like
it's not
with
people
a
just
law, it's a lesson.
for me with the red flags, my joint is the red flags don't change. It's just if you want to have sex with that person or not. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's you know what I'm saying.
no, no,
Yeah,
but
No,
but
but
see
butter,
that's what we
butter.
be doing.
You are me
That's
in
what we
male
be doing
version.
though.
Do
huh?
you?
That's what we be doing though. They like, we'll still try and
I'm
will
being
see the red
honest though.
flags, but you still, you still try,
It.
right. You see the red flags, but you're like, all right, I'm not gonna take her serious, but I'll still hit.
Yeah, I hit that joint
You
one
know, and
time. You know
then
what I'm saying? Same
yeah,
thing with
you
the
know what
women.
I'm
Like,
saying.
I
But
seen
that's
that
a
twin.
waste of your
Seen that
time,
twin. I might
especially
give it
if
one
you're
chance.
looking for.
You know what I'm saying?
Now,
Oh,
but,
my bad, Tinika.
I feel where Butter coming from. I feel where Butter
Yeah,
coming from. But
yeah,
Please make me look
like,
good though.
yeah.
hey, no. But Butter, I feel like for men, it's two separate red flags. It's a red flag whether I'm not going to have sex with this woman, and it's a red flag I'm not going to date this woman. I think for men it's two separate red flags. I think that a
There's a
woman.
red flag
Oh
for
no.
not having
I was
sex
about
with
to
a
say,
woman.
what is
No,
an
I'm saying.
example of
I
that?
mean, I feel, hey,
I don't got that one,
the
y'all.
red flag,
I probably got one
the
of them.
red,
Got that other one.
No,
I
I'm
about
saying.
the red.
It's going
Well,
down.
some niggas grow to that second red flag of not wanting to have sex, because some niggas will, regardless, no matter
Okay, yeah.
who it is, will still fuck the joint, whether she got
Yeah,
red flags
yeah.
or not. Especially how good, it depending on how good she looks, and if he has the
Yeah.
opportunity to. But you know, if you really grown to the point where you like, oh nah, you know what I'm
Hey,
saying, I'm not even about to go ahead and hit that joint. You know what I'm saying?
Where you're
I
not
already know
phased by
where that shit
pussy.
gonna go.
no,
Huh?
but
Yeah, when you reach a
So what
level
would
as
be
a man where you're not phased by pussy. Yeah. Okay.
there you go.
Right,
When,
right.
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to put it. When as a man, you see that she look good, but you know she ain't right, and so you say,
Right.
How do you
Uh-huh.
know she's not right enough
that's what I
to
was
give
about to
her?
ask. Like, what are the red flags that would say, no, I don't
Like
even
I
want to
always,
have sex with this person?
I mean, like I always say, I mean, like if she's if she's on me, way too
too
hard
early,
before
too
I even,
early.
what I'm saying, before we even have sex, and I'm not probably even really interested in her the same way. And then just, me just saying how she is for real, I already know that I'm not really into her like she's probably into me. And if I do go ahead and have sex with her, that shit just gonna, just take it up another
What's
level.
an example of
So
her being?
you breaking up.
That you're not on her.
You
I
said
think
what happened?
I guess it probably be the energy, the energy off in the situation, as in
Yeah.
like what T Moore say, like you, like she's already into you. She's investing a lot of energy talking to you, really giving you that, and you not really expressing that same level of energy back. And so if you already feel like her energy is
Okay.
high, and then, if you feel like, okay, well, my sex game is whatever it is, and you feel like you can go in there and do your thing, you feel like with that's going to add extra to it. You might be reluctant to be like, okay, yeah, I don't know if I want to take this step with her.
But can you really control about like how a female responds to your vibe or to your energy? What if you have a really dope vibe, really dope energy, and she's really digging that?
But
Yeah.
that's what I'm
What's wrong
saying.
with that? I mean, I
No,
can't blame you if you don't reciprocate that energy. You're not entitled to,
yeah.
but you're not necessarily like you can't necessarily control how she, responds or how she gives off her energy to you.
No, I mean, no, Haydee, you looking at it wrong, because like I said, when we saying a man gets to the point of a maturity level to where he understands that, okay, I may attract a lot of women, but all the women that I attract, I don't have to hit all of them. And so that's, so when he comes out level maturity of saying that every woman that I have around me, or every woman that connects to my vibe, I don't have to have sexual encounters with her. Because some men at some
Gotcha.
point in their
Okay.
life, at some men and points in their life, they just hit anything that's around them. Since she's around me,
Yeah.
it's possible for me to hit it. But at a certain point, a man say, okay, I see these women attracted to me. Let me pay attention to who I am dealing with, so all these women won't feel some type of way about me if I'm going around smashing all of them and getting these connections with these women. I don't see a future with these women.
But
So
when does that
Okay.
happen? When y'all get old and need somebody to take care of you?
listen. There is
Yeah. When they 60 in a nursing home.
That's when it
When the
happens.
stamina dies down.
Yeah.
Tika, there
You
is
said what happened?
they say when do a man come to that point, and
I
I was
mean,
going
it all depends. It depends on the man for real. Everybody
there
gets
is
to
no
different
point.
It's
points
all about
at
health.
different
Every
It's all
man
times.
is
about how you
different.
keep
Every
yourself healthy.
you can. That's what I always say. Once at a certain point, it ain't really about age, because everybody experience certain shit at certain points in their lives. So, like I said, when you was talking about I don't know exactly how old you are, but when you was talking about like being in a 17-year relationship, even if you was with somebody since you was like 14 and then y'all split up at like, 31, 32, you're going to be at a different point from the 31, 32-year old who's been single their whole 20s and experienced a lot of shit throughout their 20s and was, at that point now, they already have seen a lot of shit, dealt with a lot of different people, and already probably is maybe at a different point ready to settle down versus they just became single at 31, 32. Since they was a teen, shit's different out here.
That's true.
Mm.
Well, I'm 48.
Okay, okay, I wouldn't have even known.
You good. Like I said,
You
you
definitely
Yeah,
don't look it. Yeah.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Damn, girl.
Yeah, you're
Power
doing
and youth.
my
Yeah.
boss. But like I said, we leaving the red flag topic. Like I said, I feel that we all have discussed in detail, the different red flags and how we feel about it, and the different steps that we have either avoided or we have left early. But I also want to move into the next topic of dating of dating with a lot of rules. Do people feel do people feel going out into the dating world, should you come in with high expectation and a lot of rules and do's and don'ts of what you're doing in the dating world? Do you feel like that destroys the dating experience, that you're not really letting genuine stuff happen? Or do you feel like going in with a game plan, it's kind of securing what you're actually looking for? And like I said, since this is and more of Barb's lane, we gonna let you start it off, Barb.
I'm glad you know that.
I don't know what you're talking about. No. Okay, so I know what I want. I know what I will tolerate, what I won't tolerate. Now, if you would have asked me that question 5 years ago, no, I didn't have a plan. I was just going, winging it, and seeing, what would happen out of whatever situation I was in. Hence, when I said earlier, I would see the potential in people. So now I'm actually paying attention to the red flags. I'm actually, trying to dig deep into getting to know that person before I invest in them. So I have my plan, and there's phases. There's the talking phase, there's the dating phase, and then there's the relationship. I do not have sex during the talking phase. Haydee, shut up. It takes me anywhere from 3 to 6 months to actually know if I want to have sex with someone. To me, sex is something that I just don't give it up to anyone. You know, I need to have a connection with you, a full blown connection with you, because there's times you're conversing with someone over the phone, you're texting, you have a connection there. Then when you guys go on a date, something completely different. So in order for me to know if we're gonna have that connection and I'm actually gonna give myself to you, it's gonna take me anywhere, you know, from 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
Great.
To my thing with that, Barb, and like I said, since this is more to you, and I told Timor myself. I told Timor I appreciate that clip that he had posted of y'all in the promo video where Barb what Barb was stating in that video, that if she goes out in a social setting and a man walks up to her, she automatically is going to feel like this man, like how many other people you done talk to, how many people you done dealt with, what number am I, like it, in the dating experience, do you feel like at a certain point you may be getting too much in your own head and it takes away from the actual fun of the situation, as in really knowing where this could go, because your red flag blinker is blinking before you can really get deep into the situation. So
No,
with that,
yeah,
Barb.
honestly, yes. After that night, Tanika, I thank you a million times. Because that
You're
night, if
welcome.
you guys missed that, you guys have to look at it because I even broke down crying
The
that
wonderful
night
live. Seen that.
because
Yeah. Great live.
Tanika like made me like dig deep and think. And Katie knows me. I overanalyze each and everything, each and every aspect of my life. So with Tanika, pointing that out, like Barbie, like you're already thinking negative before something even starts. If you start something off that way, you're already setting yourself up for disaster. And I was like, you know what? She's right. So moving forward, am I dating right now? No. I'm not at that in that space in my life where I actually have time to date. I'm looking forward to right now. If it happens, it happens, okay. But it's not something that I'm planning on doing right now. But when it does happen, I'm not gonna start off thinking negative. If a guy approaches me, I'm gonna, welcome him, see what he has to say, and going from there. So yes, before I felt like I was jeopardizing everything, thinking negative automatically. But now I'm not gonna do that.
I mean, and really, Bob, on this particular topic, like I said, I know that you a person who likes a certain control of a situation, and like I said, for me, I'm a type of person who likes a certain level of control in a situation that I put myself in. And me and Timor personally had conversations where he feels, when you dating, that you should go in open chest, open hearted, and just let that person in, and then see where it goes. And I always been the one to kind of baby step it, kind
Yeah.
of pick and choose how you
No,
want to.
no. I mean,
Okay,
I
go ahead,
get
T.
you
I,
there.
I want
I
to speak.
say, I say, no. I say, baby step it, but you can't be just going in, basically just,
Guarded. Yeah.
you can't just basically keep going in guarded to the point where you basically running that person off. You have to understand that, yeah, you've been through some shit, but they've been through some shit too. So you can't just go into the shit like you the only one that's been through something. Y'all understand both of y'all been through some shit, and then really just give them that chance until they fuck it up. But you just don't do that shit with anybody.
But with that team, more how and like I said, I guess going through the red flags and all of that, how do we know who is somebody and who ain't somebody? How do we decipher who do we
That's
go
why
in,
you got to
go
pay. That's why
I
you
all
got
the
to
think
way?
pay
there's
attention
no
to who
way
you
of
talking to.
deciphering that. I don't
Dating
think
is
there's
fit.
any way of deciphering that. There are some people that are very good at showing their representative. I think people can hold on to that for many months. And it
Mhm.
happened to me with someone 9 months. They showed me their representative, and I thought that this person was like, I put him on such a high pedestal. I thought I was gonna end up with this man. I thought I was gonna be with him. I'm like, this man is perfect. He's everything that I've wanted in a man. Come to find out, he was married. And I found out 9 months later, and I was like, "What? Like,
Yeah.
there's no way that he's married." But some men are really good, and some women as well. They're very good at like showing their representative, and they're very manipulative. And I think that the only way that you would be able to know if someone has ulterior motives or if who they really are is just time.
Yeah.
You have to you definitely have to set standards and set expectations. You definitely have to go in with a game
Yeah,
plan. Yeah, you have to go in with a
absolutely.
game plan, know what you're willing to take, what you're not willing to take, what you're willing to put up with. If you see the red flags,
Hmm.
move accordingly and cut the person off, maybe, or fall back or whatever. And just, maybe you don't want to like fall back. Maybe you want to step back and probably like get a clearer vision of, the person in his whole. But yeah, you definitely need to go in with a game plan, especially if you
Absolutely.
love hard and you give everything and you have something to offer and you know your worth. You
Yeah.
definitely have to. You are the prize, then you should act like it and you should move like it.
Amen.
That's it.
Absolutely.
I agree that now Haydee out there preaching. I like that, Haydee. I love that there. But I, I agree with that 100%. And I also feel like as a person, you have to know, and that's why we always preach on this podcast and every platform that we go on. It's all about being self aware and loving yourself and knowing yourself as a person. Because, like us, if Haydee said, if you
Hmm.
know that you love hard, And you know that if you get yourself in certain situations that you're gonna fall for somebody easy, or you gonna be persuaded by the charm, or whatever that person is, then you definitely gotta put extra blockers on. Because you know, once that person gets in and gets past a point of where you saying, okay, they have broken my shell, they have got within me, that you notice you may fall for that person. So you have to put as many barriers up as you can, so you don't feel like, I don't fell for the wrong person again, or I keep falling for the wrong person again and again and again. So I do understand where Barb's coming from when she's saying, you know, I have this up because through my past situations, I have learned more and more about myself, and I know what I am looking for. But like I said, also on the other hand too, Bob, you gotta have some fun sometime, Bob. You
Yeah,
got
not
to
too much though.
you
Yeah,
you
because I
got
feel
you
like it's
got
a
to have.
thin line. It's a thin line between, setting standards and setting expectations and
Yeah,
just self sabotaging.
Yeah.
So
exactly. And that's what I wanted to
yeah.
get into. There's a difference between, well, you have to have their standards and expectations, and then it's that wall of protection.
Mhm.
Now, the reason why that wall of protection is there is because you feel you have no control over your own life, that you can't make the best decisions for yourself. So
Mhm.
you put a wall up to protect you, but it protects you and pushes people away. Whereas if you have standards and expectations, that's a little bit different, because that's what you already know what you want, you already know what you deserve, you already know your worth, you love yourself. And what you want for yourself is how people treat you. You want to monitor that, and so you teach people how to treat you by treating yourself that way. And the expectations is like the normal things that you would want someone to love you, respect you, honor you, consider you, all of those expectations. And then there's the standards. Now, sometimes we may get a package that has like a lot of what we want, but so much less of what we actually need.
Mhm.
So we go for the wrong
Right.
thing of what we want, and it's not what we need.
You know,
That's that.
I agree.
That's
I agree.
fact.
I feel like a lot of people
Very well
dibble
said.
and dabble in that, in that want over the need. Like a lot of people just say, I want this right now, I want this right now, and none of this stuff really falls under the need category. There's something that's going to be stable for them in the long term, that they know
Right.
that this has to play out this way, because this is what I need for my life. And so I feel like once you get to a certain point, you understand that your needs is more important than your wants. You want to set yourself up long term instead of just getting immediate gratification in whatever situation that is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
But
at that
yeah.
age already where we're dating for a purpose. We're not just dating to
Yes,
date. I don't want another
exactly.
belt under my I don't want another number under my belt.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean,
I want to
and
make
I agree
sure
with that.
before I speak to someone it's yeah.
Yeah, no, and I agree with Bob. And I feel like
But
at a certain point, I feel like everybody has that learning experience. Everybody has that growth process, and everybody comes to that point where, like Timo say, I'm tired of wasting time. I'm tired of wasting time in all of these random situations with these random people. It's time for me to kind of really narrow it down and understand where I want to be at, and who I want to have in my life. And so, like I said, there is no certain time frame. Everybody matures, develops. Everybody's situation is different. So whenever a person gets to that point where they say, I'm tired of these random hookups, these random people, just having all these extra people in my life, and they just start focusing on what they really need, then that's the part for them when the dating changed. And I just feel like for Barb, I just feel like the dating, it's no game for her. This she said
it's
she
not.
said we can have fun, but I'm not about to waste my time out here. I'm not about to waste
Exactly.
my
Exactly. And to answer
Like,
and to
I'm in the
answer
later
Cindy's
half of my
question.
years. I'm 48, pushing 50. I'm not. I don't have time to play games, or you trying to figure out what you want, and
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
exhausting.
trying to, I come across a lot of men that are broken, that haven't dealt with the traumas in their life. And so they come to you, and because I'm a life coach, they expect me to fix them.
Yeah.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
fixing you for me. No, I'm not doing that. You have to come to me already have dealt with and healed from, majority of your traumas. Of
Yeah.
course, there's
Mhm.
triggers and things come up along the way, but for the most part, it's about digging deep, looking within yourself to see, the events that happen into your life and led you to where you were, or where you are when you became broken. And then you go back and you look into your childhood, because that plays a part in your adulthood brokenness. It comes
Part.
from
That's where it stems
the
from.
childhood
Yep.
traumas. And so you have to go back to your childhood to revisit all of those things that you're broken from, in order to even start to fix what you are broken from as an adult.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And healing is very scary. Healing from past trauma is a very scary thing for a lot of broken people,
Yeah.
because it's gonna change you, and it's gonna have you
Exactly.
seeing things a lot different. A lot of people are comfortable being who they are while they're broken.
Yeah.
You know,
That's all they
so
know.
People are
that's all they
addicted
know.
to
They're
suffering.
comfortable.
Addicted
Yeah.
addicted to suffering, basically.
Yeah.
You make so many choices in your life that makes you suffer, and you're addicted to that because it makes you feel sometimes desired, wanted. All the suffering that you go through, or you put yourself through, from someone else.
Hmm.
They say that if a man doesn't beat you, then he don't love you. So now you go out there and you do everything to get this man to beat you,
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
crazy.
because that's how you identify with love. And you're not even realizing or taking ownership of your behavior. That's not to say that it's right. That's provoking that
Mhm.
man to beat you. So it's about ownership and accountability within yourself,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
taking on those traumas that you need to heal in order for you to even see any type of light at the end of the tunnel. You're just going to spend a
yeah.
lifetime of suffering.
That's facts. Nah, that's why I said
Yeah.
earlier
True.
about, basically coming into a situation, understanding that everybody at this point has been through something. And, instead of just really just all just caught up on what you've been through. I mean, you got to try and just basically, look at, see where you could have, where you fucked up, how you could have done better and move accordingly. But everybody just going into situations, caught up on what they've been through, that both motherfuckers is going into the situation holding back. And
Hmm.
if you holding back, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't motherfucking going anywhere.
Absolutely.
It's true.
Yeah, no,
Good stuff.
A lot of people get together too, and I don't think that this is spoken about enough. I think a lot of people get together too in relationships because they trauma bond. They have a lot of similarities when it comes to like their childhoods and
Yeah.
their triggers, and
Yeah,
they think that
yeah.
they actually like, oh, we have a connection. And it's like, no, we're
Yeah, we
trauma
have a lot
bonding.
in
Like,
Yeah.
common.
they got them toxic
yeah, we
relationships.
really
Mhm.
don't have it. Like,
Toxic
Yeah.
we don't have anything in common. We're
Mm-hmm.
both broken, adults, and
So we know that's a
we've
new word,
bonded over our
toxic.
traumas.
We're just gonna sit here and be broken
What would you say, butter?
together in
That's
a
Right.
gonna be
broken
our new
and
word. That's
toxic
a toxic
relationship.
Yeah.
masculinity.
That's a red flag right there, when you bond over the
Yeah.
traumatic experiences in your life. That's a red flag right there. When you're not bonding over all the positive things
Definitely.
that you could be doing, or that you're doing, you don't have those things in common. You have, oh, I used to be beat. I used
Mhm.
to be beat too. Well, it's like you're bonding
Oh my
over
God, you're the love
traumatic
of my
experience,
life.
toxic behaviors. That's exactly what's
Yeah.
going to be in your
Mhm.
relationship.
But that goes back to what you were saying earlier about some people just wanna have somebody there, just want to be loved. So if any connection that they feel they got with a person, whether it's a toxic connection or not, well, we have a connection. There's something that we can connect on. I need you here. When I'm going through a tough time, I'm there for you. When you going through a tough time, we can just be there for each other. And the next thing you know, you in this toxic downward spiral, but you got a partner. Y'all downward and spiral together. So
both on survival mode, both raised on survival mode, both trauma bonding, both broken. Disaster, recipe for disaster.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they think they can fix each
other. I definitely agree to that.
But let me ask you one
ahead,
thing though. Do y'all feel like somebody can heal by themselves though? Because I've talked to a lot of people and they feel like that. And when I say that I'm not going to probably deal with somebody that's insecure or deal with somebody that's broken, they feel like, well, okay, well, you're just going to be single then because nobody can heal by themselves.
And when you say by themselves, do you mean like single or do you mean not seeking
single.
therapy?
Yeah, single.
Oh, single.
That's exactly
you
what
need
I'm saying.
To heal by yourself.
Yeah. You have to be by yourself, to heal.
No, you can't.
You shouldn't be in a relationship while you're trying to
you shouldn't be in a relationship. There's always going to be problems in the relationship if you're trying to heal within it, because now you have the expectation of that person to help you and support you get through these emotions, whereas the same person that you're attacking all the time, so how are they supposed to help you with what you're going through is if they're the victim of what you've been through.
That's
true.
Why
I've been single for so long. I've been single for 4 years. And a lot of people like to rush the healing process. Take your time. It can take, everybody's different. It can take a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. Take your time. Don't rush it for anyone.
I agree.
Make sure you're good. In order to make anyone else happy, you have to be happy within yourself. If you cannot be happy alone, you're not going to make anyone else happy. It doesn't matter how great of a man you find or woman. If you're still broken, you're going to ruin that relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is true. And to go back to what Haydee said earlier, just about people really are scared to heal and go through that healing process. And then on top of that, going through that healing process by themselves. So a lot of people, when they say, I need somebody to heal with, they're scared to do that by themselves. And then they forcing themselves to deal with somebody while they're here, and they don't know that the person that they having to help them heal, they're hurting them because they're not healed. And so I just think that people have to take that. You have to take that, even though it's scary and you could go through a lot of different things. And when you come out, you can be a completely different person. But you have to take that journey by yourself, because there is nobody that you can pull next to you that can really understand you more than you. How are you gonna pull somebody in your life and for them to tell you about yourself? Nobody can tell you about you except for you. You have to sit down with yourself and find out, who am I? So whatever age that is, where you have time to sit down and be with yourself and deal with the past traumas and stuff that you done dealt with in your life, you have to sit down and deal with that. And when you come out of whatever that situation is off your healing side, then you can go out there and find a partner. But there is no partner in the world that's going to come in and help you be a better you than you don't know nothing about yourself. So you have to take that time. And we all know it's hard. The healing process is hard, but you have to take that time and be one with yourself and find out who you are. Because as soon as you find out who you are, the person that you're supposed to be, you're gonna attract that person. It's gonna be a better attraction for you.
Oh, you preaching? Go ahead.
But
for real, right?
He is. And it's not fair to that other person either.
Yeah.
Because how would you feel if you were that other person? Being the punching bag of that person that's trying to deal with their traumas and whatever, they're just taking it out on you. So now here you are, a damaged person, have someone that's amazing, enters your life, and now you're all the traumas you went through, you're pushing it on them, and now you're damaging this great person. So it's not fair at all to the
Mm-hmm.
next person that comes
Agreed.
along.
Yeah. And
But
I
that
think that even when
person,
you're in the healing process, you definitely you need to be single. I think that you have to abstain from sex for sure because to my opinion, I feel like that kind of clouds everything up, all the work that you're doing.
yes,
So
Yeah.
when you say like the healing process, the journey to healing, you have to be by yourself. It's
so
gonna get lonely. It's gonna get sad. It's when you reach a certain point where you're like, damn, I'm at peace. This feels good, and you
yes,
never want to put a price on your peace ever
ever
again,
again,
ever
absolutely.
again. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I said. And
No,
that by
fact.
your, like what she's saying, that by yourself part, that isolation, well, all it is just you and your thoughts. You don't have, because a lot of people, and really what it comes down to is that when people get into situations with other people, it has nothing to do with that person. It's more of you're taking my mind off of my own thought and what I'm dealing with.
Hmm.
You're a
Hmm.
distraction for me, so I don't have to sit here and deal with what I'm dealing with. So it,
Absolutely.
it doesn't have to be no
Yeah.
connection. It don't have to be no connection. I don't have to feel no type of love for you, want to be with you, but you are helping me not deal with myself. And so I want you around
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
until and so I don't have to sit here and deal with just me isolated my thoughts and myself. And so, like I said, that's gonna be the hardest part right there. Isolating yourself
Mhm.
and not doing anybody, and it just being you and your thoughts until you get out on the other side.
Yeah. I did that once. And it's sad because the guy ended up falling for me. And I
That's the
didn't
word.
like him that way. And I felt bad for him because he was like, "What do you mean you don't like me the way I like you? I thought this and that." And I realized I was just using him
Yeah.
to escape all the things that I was scared to face.
Mhm.
So that's why I say
Yeah,
it's not
that's
nice to do that to
Mm.
people. You don't want to be that other person.
yeah.
I'm currently
Just
on
fucking
the
with
whole
somebody.
like
Yeah.
no dating, not entertaining, not talking phase right now, and it's because I'm cherishing my peace of mind now, and it feels good. So I'm at that point right now. I'm like, oh yeah, are you gonna be toxic, or are you gonna you're gonna add to my peace or what? Because I don't want to deal with that. And the other day, for the first time in a long time, I've been single 4.5 years.
Okay.
So for the first time ever, someone DM'd me the other day. He was like, "Oh, like I want to get to know you. Can I take you out on a date?" And I was like, "No, I'm not interested. I'm not looking." Meanwhile, if 6 months ago, I would have been like, just for a distraction, I would have been like, "Yeah, sure, let me go out and let's exchange, let's text message or whatever." I was like, "I'm not looking. I'm not interested." And he was a good looking guy. He looked good. He looked like he had it together. But I was like, I'm not looking, I'm not interested. Like, I hope you understand, whatever. He was like, damn, you were honest. Like you were upfront. Like I appreciate that. Before I wouldn't be vocal. I wouldn't be blunt about it. I would just be like, oh, let me just lead them on. Let me just see where
Mhm.
this goes. But now I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I don't want anyone interrupting like the work that I'm doing on myself right now. Like, no.
But in both of your situations, Barb and Haydee, like I said, it is very commendable of you ladies to either be aware of, that I don't have no connection for this man. This man is just it's keeping me from, he's helping me with my emotional issues, or just the fact of having him around is just good for me. Or like I said, what Haydee saying, just knowing that I'm not ready for something. I'm not about to entertain you because I'm not ready to have it in my life. And I feel like a lot of women, like I said, when it comes to that point of when they know, okay, I can't really have anybody around me because I'm not right. They may still have these extra men around with no interest in them, just to buy time and just to have somebody to help him through it. I think it's a thing of emotional comfort. Like a lot of women just want emotional comfort, and that's it. Like I said, a lot of women, they might not want sex from the man or whatever it is. I just want you to be here. You got good conversation. I just want you to be here for emotional support. And
Yeah.
for that, I have no issue with that. My only thing with that is, like I said, with Haydee and Barb, if females are upfront with that from the beginning, if you tell the man up front from the beginning, this is where I'm at in my life. This is what I'm looking for. If you can do that for me, fine. But if you want more, that's just not what I'm willing to give at this time.
People ain't gonna. I mean, it sounds nice, Noah, but I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm just thinking,
No, I
because I'm just
definitely
really
do
just
that.
thinking, because at the
It
same
doesn't
time,
go over very well. I
Oh yeah,
practice
it
that. So
definitely not.
I get to the
I
point
know.
where like I'm annoyed now. I'm like, I don't even want to date anymore. This is just so annoying. So
That's
I
annoying
what
because
usually
you
it's
start.
like,
set the
yeah.
right expectations in the beginning. You say what you want, and sometimes they pretend to be, again, what you say you want. And then sometimes, they think that they can change your mind,
Yeah.
So,
No, what they're doing, yeah,
But that's
Yeah,
when they
right.
get
Tanika.
You're
blocked.
telling them
That's
what
when
you
you
want,
block
I
them,
do
and
agree
they're
with that.
Tanika.
doing what you if
Mm-hmm.
they're doing. You tell them what you want, what you want, and they're doing what you want until they get what they want.
exactly. So you got to be mindful of that. Pay attention to
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Mhm.
I tell,
Some men need a
anybody, if you're
challenge.
doing anything for me, if it ain't what you want to do, then I don't want you to do it.
Yeah.
No, don't change because you think it's gonna get me. Don't do anything because you think it's gonna win me over, or it's leverage to say, well, I did this for you. I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, and I definitely and I definitely agree with that. And and I feel like I said, with communication, and just because ladies communicate anything with a man does not mean it's gonna be received. Just because you communicate, it don't mean they're gonna receive it respectfully and just go with that. But like I said, it is also good to have when you're going through that self love, that healing process, that you have some of a close friend, whether that's a girlfriend, family member, somebody that can also be your support to check on you. Because like I said, when people go through a healing process, it is a dark time.
Yeah,
And so you
Yeah.
you need that one person, like I said, and if a female, it might not be a male. It may not be a male. It may be harder for a male to stick around a female when she's going through that process. But I do recommend finding somebody that's able to check in on you. I know you're in your healing process, just want to check on you, make sure you're good, make sure your mind right. Do you want to discuss anything? Just have that one person that you know that, okay, that they support your healing process, and they want to make sure that you are getting through it the best way you can get through it.
Or even
Yeah,
therapy. A lot of
Yeah,
people are
therapy
against
too. Yeah.
therapy, but it's something that it's needed. A lot of us have been through different things in our lives, and sometimes you don't want to sit here and talk to your friends about what you went through with your ex, just in case you just might get back with your ex, and you don't want them to talk shit about it if you do get back with them. So I think the best bet is therapy. If you don't have that friend that can honestly sit there and give you the best advice and not judge you, therapy is always the way to go with it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
To like for instance, narcissistic abuse. It's no way you can get past it or through it without clinical therapy. I mean, you can have your support, your friends, your mentor, all of those people in place, but you really need clinical therapy in order to um, put everything in perspective. Sometimes you might in the beginning be on medications, until you're able to balance out your feelings and your emotions and what you've been through, because it's layers and layers and layers of abuse that you don't even realize until you even get out the situation, if you're fortunate enough to do that. Because with a narcissistic person, their ultimate goal is either to drive you crazy or to have you kill yourself, because they don't like you, they hate you. Everything about their relationship with you is not real. It's just to get what they want. So when you
Yeah.
come
Very.
out of that and you realize like your whole life was a lie based on appeasing someone else, that's a lot, because they have you believing that everything is your fault. You're the problem. And then you start to believe that.
Yep.
Mhm.
So extensive therapy is always that needs to be in your healing tool, in your transformation of life, period. You should
Mhm.
have. some type of therapy to guide you through that.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. Like I said, I think everybody, all podcasts and everybody supports people getting therapy. I think therapy has gotten a bad rep that people think, people, you gotta be crazy to go to therapy. It is nothing wrong if to go to therapy just to have that conversation, just to have somebody that can speak to you in a way without having any judgment on any situation that you're in. So like I said, I think everybody backs therapy and feels like therapy would be great for anybody. Like I said, healing, marriage, anything that you're going through, it's always good to have that a voice that's non-judgmental, that can give you reason without having to connect it to anything else but just their own personal diagnosis of the situation.
Yeah, I do therapy, and it's crazy because it took me a couple of years.
Same.
I'm Hispanic, and when you speak to your family about certain things you're going through, the main thing is like, oh, you're being weak. You're letting your mind control you.
Like very taboo.
Yes. So for a while, I was like, I don't want to be that weak person in the family that's, seeking therapy instead of being my relatives about it. And I've been doing therapy for a couple of months now. And even if it's just a simple conversation about me having a bad day with the dog yesterday, I have someone to talk about it that, it's not going to judge me and, certain things like that. Nothing wrong with getting therapy. The simplest thing, it helps. It helps to have someone to talk to that's not going to judge you and it's going to actually listen. Because there's a lot of times we talk to our friends or our family and you're trying to vent to them about what it is you're going through, and that conversation turns into something that they're going through. So it's
or how they would have handled it.
Yeah. So in the long run, at the end of the day, they probably don't mean to do it, but they really can help you the way a professional can. There's nothing wrong with getting therapy, guys.
Yeah.
I always say for me,
And I remember
I also do go to therapy, and my experience with therapy, I always say they don't give you the answers. They either A, help you connect the dots, or B, they just give you the tools that you need to be able to navigate through your trauma, or your triggers. So, I always, I advocate for therapy, or whatever works for some people. Don't want to do therapy. Some people spiritual route that works for you. Some people rather take, the religious route. Towards they look towards God, or oh, they look towards God, or they look towards, or to deal with their trauma or their triggers, but whatever works for you. If you like it, I love it.
You was about to add to that, Timor.
No, I was just about to respond because I remember I think one of y'all was basically talking about how when we was talking about healing by yourself and how you basically hurting the person that you with. So basically, I was just about to respond to that and just go to our last topic. Because our last topic was basically wanting that old thing back, and I remember somebody was basically saying, how sometimes being by yourself gets lonely. Yes, it does get lonely, which is when that's when people eventually wants to get into a situation. They've been single for about 2 years. They like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I've been single for X amount of time. I feel like I'm ready to be in a relationship because them lonely nights, they miss having that man around. You probably start thinking about yeah, your old that old thing that you had during that specific time. And then you like, what? We might maybe can, crack back, give it this shit a crack back. Do y'all feel like exes change? Can y'all go back to them type of situations? Or do y'all feel like it's just best to leave it alone?
Okay,
Leave
for
it
me,
alone.
I don't go back to any of my exes. Um, in the past, if an ex left me, I might have went back because I wasn't done with them, and my ego was like, well, he left me, I didn't leave him, so when I'm done, is when I'm ready to leave is when this is gonna happen. But now, no.
I love it, Tinika.
No, I don't go back. There's no reason for me because during the relationship, I've exhausted all resources, everything to make the relationship work. So if it didn't, then it shouldn't have continued. So no, I don't go back.
Mhm. What about you, Barb?
Well, I'm guilty of going back. I'm guilty. Those of you who don't know, I have 4 children. My 2 boys have one dad, twins, separate dads. When you have kids, it's kind of different. I'm not using my kids as an excuse, but I am the type of female that if I had kids with you, it's for a reason. You know, you guys know I'm not just out there. So with the boy's father, I tried it as much as I could. I went back, but then there came a point where I saw I was losing myself trying to maintain a relationship. And I saw I was hurting my kids because I was trying to stay with him to be a family for the kids. So then I moved on with the twins dad, and it was the same thing over again. I saw that I was staying and going back for the kids, and I was like, hold on, Barbie, if it didn't work out the first time, what makes you think it's gonna change this time around? So no, I told myself I couldn't go back anymore, but I did go back twice, and both times I wouldn't say I regret it because it was different experiences both times, so I learned a little bit more. That way, those lessons that I learned, I can take them moving forward to future relationships. In the future, will I go back? No.
What about you, Haydee?
Nah, I can't go back. Once I'm done, like the Pisces that I am, I'm a fish. I swim away. I'll go back.
Far, far away.
I swim far, far
swimming.
away. Now, have I been Have I been guilty of wanting to go back? Absolutely. This is
Yeah.
my first serious relationship was 8 years. My second was 5. So this is the first time that I've been single for this long since I was like 15, to be honest. So yeah, after getting a little glimpse of what dating is like nowadays, I was like, wait a minute, maybe my last relationship wasn't so bad. Like
I
he loved me. So yeah, I was like, maybe I should just try to work it out. Like, let me try to go back. And
Yeah.
no, I have to be like, no, you can't do it. You left for a reason. Don't trust the decision that you made and stand on it. So move on, heal. That wasn't the main goal when I became single, but after encountering some fucked up situations with in the dating scene, I had to realize and take some accountability that I do have to do some inner work. So I'm still a work in progress, but I definitely have grown a lot from the person that I was even like 6 months ago. So yeah, no backpedaling over here.
Yeah,
And I'm not
I
gonna front, guys. Also,
okay.
within the 4 years that I've been single, there's been times where I thought about going back because, like Haydee said, the dating game nowadays is crazy, and a
Mhm.
lot of men. I don't like to talk about Kevin Samuels, but a lot of you guys look up to him, and you
Look
guys
up as
have this mindset. Like your godfather. I don't know why, but anyway, you guys have this mindset where, oh, if a girl has more than one child, more than one baby daddy, you know, she really does, she shouldn't be valued. She shouldn't this. And he tries to tell ladies that just because they have more than 2 children, that their chances of meeting a good man are slim to none. They should buy a dog and die alone. So listen,
Oh,
I'm not
he's
gonna lie. At one
dramatic
point,
and drastic,
he is.
but
At
I
one point,
do
I
I
was thinking
do
about that. I
believe
was
that
like,
he.
you know what? No, at one point I was like, you know what? Maybe right. Maybe my chances are slim to none. I have 4 kids. It's a huge package for someone to take. And I know it's gonna take a great man to love me and my kids, you know? And there were times where I was like, I should just go back and work it out with one of their fathers. But then I was like, Barbie, snap out of it. If it didn't work out before, it was for a reason. Your time will come. And if it doesn't come, honestly, I know a a lot of people hate when females say this, but I am okay with being alone with my children. I know how to make myself happy, and my children make me happy, so I'll be okay with that.
Look, we got the rose now, so you know.
The only
I do believe what Kevin's saying, Roots. Most people, the information that he provides is pretty much accurate. It's the delivery that people have the problem with. It's the delivery, because what he
Yeah.
says is
Yeah.
real and it's true and it's honest.
harsh reality.
Because yes, but it's just the delivery. It's definitely the delivery. He makes you.
Of
Yeah.
course,
He
I
makes you.
understand that for me to
And
meet
just-
a good man that's gonna take me before kids, it's gonna take a lot. I understand that, but there's still hope out there.
No, I mean,
No,
I mean,
he's just trying to say that. I mean, like I said, he's drastic. Like, you'll never find anyone. It's just a lot harder. It's
Yeah.
definitely a
Yeah.
lot
No, yeah.
harder.
Yeah.
And
It
so it's the
definitely is.
delivery and the manner in which he delivers the message. What he says is real.
Yeah.
What he
I
says
agree.
is real.
Yeah, I agree. I don't agree with everything. I do not agree. Let me just preface the fact that I do not agree with everything that he says.
Yeah, but
I do agree with some of the things that he does say. I can look past the delivery. I think that a lot of women probably can't because, we're emotional by default. So it's difficult for us to kind of like get the message because we can't get past the delivery. But
Exactly.
a lot of the things that he does say it's bullshit, I think.
listen,
But
when he said that about a woman with more than 2 children and buying a dog and dying alone, I was like, oh my God, I just bought a dog recently. I'm going to die alone. I started crying that night.
I mean,
Because at the end of the day, I knew what he was saying was true. That it was going to take a very strong man to be able to handle me and my 4 children and my dog.
Absolutely.
that's true.
go ahead, Timor.
I'm just basically saying that. Like that's what most women's problem is for really be his delivery. Because he does one thing. I will say this to or B too, that when he does have the woman that comes on his show and be talking, he cuts them off, so they really never can really get fully what they want to say out because before he as soon as you start saying something and then he hears that he don't disagree with it, he's cutting you off. He ain't really letting you finish. But other than that, most of the part what he does say is accurate. It's just how he does it.
But to speak on your situation, Bob.
I can.
You are really what it comes down to is, like I said, it wouldn't necessarily be harder. You would have to look at it as in the person. If a man comes into your life that is for you and is going to be beneficial to you, then that man is going to step up and actually be there for you. So with you having 4 kids and he's saying that it's gonna run a lot of men away. You want that, Barb. You want all these men that's not gonna be beneficial to you and your kids to not even come to you. You want the man that sees you and has the kids and says, even though she has them kids, I still see her as the woman that she is, and I want to be a part of her life and her kids. So what he's saying is true, but you also have to understand that is a good thing. Because with you having a big family, you don't want all these men coming in here wasting your time. You want the man that approaches you to be the actual man that's going to step in and actually be there for you and your family and appreciate the dynamic that you already have built. So not necessarily having a whole lot of men around to really say, oh, this, that, another. Sometimes that's not a good thing. Sometimes you want to get all the men out of the way and let the men that really want to be in that dynamic and really want to have you and your kids in their life to come forward to you, and you can just deal with them men. Forget all them other men. But yeah, like I said,
you done said a word right there.
I'm
said a mouthful.
Hugs, Noah.
Like I
said, a
said,
mouthful.
there is hope out there. Like I
Got
said,
me
you
all
got
emotional. Me crying on your YouTube live.
Definitely.
yeah, you got to look at the
No
opposite
tears
side.
tonight.
Like I said, It is a negative side to it, but it's also a positive side to it, and it's always good to think positive. But the last question I have for you ladies before we close the show out tonight is, we have talked about red flags earlier. So the last question that I have for you ladies is, what is a green flag for you ladies that when you see this in a person, is gonna make you run full steam ahead? Oh, this person then hype my interest up to the fullest. What is a major green flag for you ladies that will really get you invested in that person if you see these qualities or whatever it is in that person?
My love language is acts of service. So whenever there's someone that wants to step in and make things easier for me, help me in any kind of way, those are green flags for me. Any way that someone is trying to make things easier for me and be an assistant to me and support me.
Haydee, what about you?
Any man that's striving to be a better man than he was yesterday. Anything that would indicate that he's trying to be a better version of himself. Whether that's healing, whether that's therapy, whether it's like, chasing his dreams, working on his craft, being ambitious. All of those things to me is self care, and that tells me that you want to be a better you. That's always a green flag.
Barb?
For me, it will be a man that's a family man. If he has kids, he has to be involved in his kids' life. He has to be a great dad. And, those things like that will make me believe that if I do get into a relationship with him, he'll be the same for me and my children. I'm all about my kids, so that's the main thing. A man that's a family man. He loves to go out and do things, with kids, family oriented. That's a green flag for me.
Hmm. And Timor, for you, what is a green flag that will make you say, I need to move forward with this woman. This woman got something different that I ain't seen before.
Mm. I mean, I'll say maybe a woman that I can talk to. Somebody that actually, really, actually tries to understand me. That I can actually, instead of somebody that's really just, I already know I can't really come talk to you about certain shit. You're just gonna already brush what I gotta say off. You're gonna judge. You really understand. Say you don't have to agree. What I'm saying, we don't have to agree on everything, but really try and get to understand why we feel the way we feel on certain things.
And I like that, Timor. And I think for me, a green flag that I would see in a woman is, like I said, a woman who you know, has went through her healing process, have came out and learned about herself, and then while I'm dealing with her, she is telling me, this is the woman that I am. This is the woman that I've become. This is who I am. And then from there, we can move forward and build off of that. So I think for me, a green flag in a woman is just a woman who is humble in herself, knows who she is, and knows what she's looking for in the future, and what she wants to do relationship wise, future wise, in the future. But with that being said, ladies, with that being said, that is our show for tonight.
Hmm.
We we
Definitely appreciate y'all coming on.
we definitely
Well, thank you for having me, having us.
Yes,
Thank
You know,
you.
us
Thank you
thank
for
you.
having us. This is dope.
we,
It
we,
was
we
an
definitely
honor.
appreciate the great conversation that you have given us, and, our viewers as well. Like I said, if you ladies can before you go, uh, let the viewers know again your social media, where they can find you at, when your next podcast episode coming at, and just give them as much information as you can. We can start off with you, Bart.
Okay, you guys can find me, Let Me Touch You Podcast. I'm on all streaming platforms. On IG, it's let_me_touch_me_underscore. And And join us is the NYC Home Team Pod every Friday at 3 p.m. Standard Time.
Haydee, go ahead.
Okay, so you guys can find me, Haydee Baby, on the Ladies Pitch podcast, accompanied by my beautiful co-host, Alexi the Savage and Direct Daddy. We drop episodes every Monday at midnight. We're currently on season 4. You can find us at Instagram, Ladies Pitch, on Twitter, Pitch 718. We're on all streaming platforms. I'm also part of the NYC Home Team Pod every Friday night, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Here with my girl Barbie, with Direct Daddy, and with Styles on the Brunch Hour podcast. Make sure you guys check us out.
All right, T, where can they find some information at?
Okay. Again, Tinika B Love. TINIKA BLOVE, all social media platforms. Also, the Brunch Hour Pod. Follow. I am 1/3 host with Goody and Styles, and also the NYC Home Team. Styles from the Brunch Hour Podcast is a part of that with Haydee and Barb. So definitely follow on all social media platforms. We finished season 4. We're about to start season 5 very soon, but you can catch up on all of season 4. We had some great episodes, some great topics, a lot of knowledge. So definitely listen, catch up, because we'll be back really soon. The Brunch Hour Pod.
All right. And T More, let the people know your information.
You already know, man. Y'all can follow me at Off the Top Media. Y'all follow me, y'all gonna see what I put out, content. Keep putting y'all updates on the show. I mean, y'all already know. A lot of controversial topics.
And like I said, y'all
has a very Barry White voice, doesn't he?
He has a very
he getting his sexy on. You crazy?
Yeah, he has a very sexy like ASMR voice. I feel like you and Barbie together would make very good ASMR content. Think about it.
I've told Barbie.
He said,
let's create an OnlyFans. Yeah, Noah did tell me that.
Hey, I didn't know they had OnlyFans for voices. That is, yeah, that is good.
Oh, I should look into that.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna be the first to do it, Timo. Let's do it.
They have OnlyFans for everything. A lot of things non-sexual.
I was about to say, because I mean, we just had a like an OnlyFans, lesson last episode, and I learned a lot of shit. Like, damn, people be on there cooking and cooking and cleaning and whatever else that they be doing on there. So I was like, damn, maybe
modeling bathing suits.
We're gonna talk about it after.
Yeah, we definitely. But my fault. I done got but y'all already know it's Nova Noah. Follow me on IG at Nova_Noah_. We bought another lit Saturday show for y'all. Great conversation with our guests. All the viewers, y'all come back next Saturday. We're gonna do it all over again with the new guests. And like I said, we appreciate everybody rocking with us tonight. Butta, go ahead and close us out, my man.
Hey, with that being said, it's been another great episode. We had a conversation that you might need a hug. It's me, Butta, Nova Noah, and Timo. It's all love. So at the end of the day, man, y'all like and subscribe to comment. Like and subscribe to the content, and we're gonna keep on bringing it. Thank y'all, and thank the ladies for a great show.
Appreciate you,
ladies. Thank you for having us.
Appreciate you, ladies.